lately. You've been so forgetful, a kind of a stop and go forgetfulness that bothers me. Kisses, I once had a net full.
It was 1946, and I was 15 years old. And Hirsch brought Chetty over to my house, and my mother made bacon and lettuce and tomato sandwiches. And Chetty ate his, and then he took mine. And he kept eating. He was real hungry. My mother said, that guy is really hungry. And he kept eating, and she used to like to bake a lot then. She baked cakes, and he ate all the cake, too. So he was hungry. He was very thin, though. He was a good-looking kid, and he played the trumpet. But anyway, we were doing a job at the Miramar Hotel in Santa Barbara with this little band. And Bill Perkins was up there, and his mother was rich, and she had a house in the hills in Santa Barbara. So after the job, we went up to his house. How slick Chetty was, you know. And finally, I had Aunt Jasmine in the bedroom, and I was in bed with her. Then I turned around for some reason, and when I turned back, Chetty was fucking her. And they were going, and she was saying, oh, Jack. And so she thought I was fucking her, and it was Chetty that was fucking her. This is how fast he was, and you know, and ever since then, Ann has really liked me a lot.
You wish you had tried much less forgetfulness. You'll be upset and forgetful. Won't be able to forget.
Between being an actress and being a singer, I was a camera girl, and I did it in LA. I did it at the Ambassador Hotel, the Coconut Grove. I was the only girl that worked in the place, and it was a very plush, nice job. And across the street one way was my father's club, the Tiffany. And across the street the other way was the Hague, where Chet Baker was playing. And we cared for each other very much. Well, we used to spend a lot of time driving. And I never heard Chet sing at that time. He would only sing in the car. But we managed to be on Pacific Coast Highway a lot. He wouldn't drink coffee. He didn't smoke cigarettes. We did smoke grass, but we all felt that that was a really healthy thing to do. I mean, that was the natural high. We would go skiing, boating, and we were very in touch with nature, in touch with life. Before the 60s, when it got to be everybody's religion. And we sure knew how to get lost. We got lost on a sailboat in Balboa Bay, and we loved it.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware of Dizzy Gillespie and Roy Aldridge and Charlie Shavers and until 3 years later, actually, when I was in the Army in Berlin, and I heard I heard on a V-disc, what they call a V-disc, over the Armed Forces Network thing. They started playing a lot of Stan Kenton and Woody Herman, and then Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker. And man, that was a rude awakening, let me tell you. From Harry James to Dizzy Gillespie is kind of a big jump, you know. And I was playing every night someplace. There was a session in LA, and met Dexter and Pony Dexter and Wardell Gray, Frank Morgan, who has just been playing in New York recently, and Hampton Hawes and Shelley Mann and Shorty Rogers and Jack Sheldon and the Condoli brothers, Frank Rossellino and Pete Christlieb and all, Bill Holbrook and Jack Montrose and all those West Coast cats. And Russ Freeman. And I got a job, one of my first jobs was with Vito Musso. You probably don't remember him, but he made one record of Come Back to Sorrento when he was with Stan Kenton, that it was such a big hit that he was able to, you know, be booked and have his own group and travel around, and the drummer got me on the band. So he had a very hip rhythm section, you know, but he'd get up there and play. My
name is Hersh Hamill. I'm a bass violin player. I've been in Los Angeles many years, playing since 1949. And one of the things about Chet at the time was that he wasn't so interested in playing the bebop riffs that were popular at the time, as he was playing pretty tunes like Zing Goes the Strings to Your Heart and Make Believe, The Way You Look Tonight. At the time, there was a lot of talk about West Coast jazz, or cool jazz, as some of the New York or Eastern musicians used to call it. And they sort of put our style of music down out here in Los Angeles. I really don't think that they understood that musicians like Chet Baker and Art Pepper were really products of their environment, the sun and the beach and the warmth and the romanticism. Chet's kind of playing was just indigenous to jazz as the Beach Boys were later on to rock and roll.
I loved Chet long before I met him because he personified for me.
I can't do it.
It's okay,
Do it.
All right. I loved Chet way before I met him because for me he personified the very thing that gave meaning to my life, and that is jazz. I was playing drums in a little pizza place, and he walked in one night with this trumpet. I knew it was Chet, and he looked like a Greek god to me, and I fell in love with him immediately. He was very gentle, very sweet, very charming. I guess that's what it was, and the mystique about it. The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of scenario. Shortly before my mother died, Chet was doing his number about having to get high, and finally got some money out of my brother. I had left the home by that time. I couldn't take any more. So I went to a women's shelter to get away from it. And I spoke with my brother on the phone, and he said, well, I told Chet to leave. He's full of shit. I never want to see him again. Because Chet cons people. He has this ability to elicit sympathy, you know, from people. And it's all a big act. Like he came to my brother and put his arms around him. I can't make it, you know. I wait every morning for the sun to come up, and it's agonizing, and I'm hurting so bad. And my brother fell for it and gave him $50 so he could go cop, and after that he realized that he was being conned because Chet said, how was I? Was I pretty good? I should have been an actor. So you really never know when Chet is being sincere.
Every time we say goodbye, I die alone. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why the gods above me, who must be in the know, think so little of me. They permit you to go when you're near. There's such an air of spring. About it, I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye.
He played real good trumpet. He could play, he didn't know what note he was hitting. He would just press the valves down, and it was real easy for him to play. I hated this because I played the trumpet too, and it was real hard for me to play. Every day I had to practice all day long, practice scales, practice the Arbenz book. Chet, he never practiced at all. He just could play, and he knew every song. He could just play any tune, and he knew the melody, and he could play jazz to it. And he always knew where he was. And it was real hard for me. I never knew where I was, and I would always forget what bar we were in. In fact, where are we now? My mother bought me a Steinway piano for $3,000, and Chet couldn't understand why I got a Steinway piano instead of a car, because he really couldn't think about having to work at music. It was just easy for him. Everything came easy for Chet. He was just a natural musician.
Begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye.